We cannot give that information under direct orders.
Orders by whom?
I cannot say.
Mr. DeCamp, would you please instruct your client when he has to answer these questions?
Yes. You're supposed to answer these questions. Does this have to do with Monarch?
Yes.
If I use the code, will that help? Which I just obtained in the last hour. D6413782, program XPY Eagle Alex Hope. Please go ahead and answer all questions.
I was created by a government program,
Which government program?
Monarch.
And what is Monarch?
Monarch is an operation that was created by the United States government to create spies for other countries. They use children for the purpose that they are easily integrated into multiple personalities because they can dissociate. Monarch is a program that is run by Michael Angelo Aquino, who was an Army Reserve colonel at Presidio. He is also the leader of the Temple of Set. He also runs a child daycare center. He also is involved in human sacrifice.
Is he employed by the United States?
Yes,
At what facility?
Presidio, California.
Is that in San Francisco area? Presidio
Yes.
Naval Base?
Yes,
Do you know what rank Michael Aquino holds?
he was a colonel.
Is he currently employed there?
I am not aware of the current situation.
No. Describe the program again, the Monarch program.
Monarch, as I said, was a program that used children to make multiple personalities for future use as spies and as a way to take over the United States government. The personalities were created at the first.
Excuse me, who was intending to take over the United States government?
I do not know that information.
Did you understand Mr. Aquino to be working on behalf of the United States or against the United States?
I believed he was working on behalf of the United States.
So some segment of the United States was trying to take over the United States government?
The plan that Aquino had in it was he wanted to usher in the Antichrist, which is talked about in the Bible.
This was a government-sponsored program?
Yes.
Okay. You were 7 years old at the time that you were recruited?
I was actually 3 years old when it first began, but I was not created until later on.
Who created you?
I was created by Monarch.
Do you mean Mr. Aquino? Who in Monarch created you?
I was created by Monarch. I do not know who.
What were you told when you were 4 years old that you recall now about the Monarch program?
When I first got involved, I was molested by an airman from Offutt Air Force Base who was involved in Monarch. His job was to recruit kids from the local neighborhood who he could make dissociate by doing traumatic things to them at a very young age. Later on, when they get to school age, they would simply pick me up at school, and I would simply miss a day or two for training.
Now, is it your testimony that there was a United States plan or plot which intended to create multiple personality syndrome or dissociative personalities in children?
Yes, to my knowledge.
And that you were a victim of a plot of the United States? And that that's when your multiple personalities first began to develop?
Yes.
When did you become aware that you were part of Monarch?
I knew that I was aware of Monarch the whole time, as Wesley.
From 4 years old forward,
At my creation.
1974.
Yes.
So that would be from 7 years forward. You were aware of the creation of Wesley and the plan and the concept of the United States to cause you to dissociate.
Yes.
And now, what is your understanding of the reason that Monarch wanted children with dissociative disorders or multiple personality disorders?
Because if one was captured in the future spying, the personality or the person that was captured would go into a personality that would have no useful information. There would be other personalities that would come out that would render the person to seem hallucinatory or to seem as if he was indeed crazy. In fact, their program, which was named Star Wars, was in fact a program in which we were taken aboard so-called alien spacecrafts, which were in tunnels in Colorado, which were not real spaceships, nor were they real aliens. We were simply induced with drugs so that we would not render reality to anything that we would see. And later on, if we ever related this information, it would come out and appear as if we were crazy.
So you were trained actually to be a spy
Yes.
on behalf of the program known as Monarch,
Yes.
for the purpose of ultimately taking over the government of the United States.
Yes.
And the reason that you were, and the reason that the individuals in charge of the program wanted children with dissociative personalities or multiple personalities was so that they would not reveal the information that they gathered, if captured, in one of their other personas.
Yes, if captured or in any other normal activity.
Were you paid for your work in Monarch?
No.
How long did you work for Monarch?
I do not consider it working for them. I consider it more or less them being in control of me. From as I said, probably 1970 until 19...
Are you currently controlled by Monarch?
Yes.
Are you fearful of the consequences of what you have revealed here today? Are you fearful that Monarch will somehow, do you feel that you are at risk by what you have revealed?
Yes.
Have you felt threatened in the past by the members of Monarch?
Yes.
And when did you start feeling threatened by members of Monarch?
From the breakdown of the multiple personality system, which happened in 1986, which allowed me to start revealing memories that other personalities contained about abuses.
So once the breakdown started to occur, you became fearful that you were at risk because of that breakdown.
Yes.
Has anyone from Monarch ever contacted you since 1986?
Yes.
Who has contacted you from Monarch?
I cannot reveal that because I do not know what their names are.
They use code names.
Yes.
What are some of the code names that people use?
The Eagle.
What has the Eagle done that has been threatening?
The Eagle makes phone calls that initiate hypnotic suggestive personalities, which are not real personalities, that were programmed in by Monarch. And what these codes that he says to me when he calls make the other personality or the suggestion come to pass, whereas I will do something in that personality and will not remember it at all in any other personality. It will be forgotten, and I won't even have a record of it as myself.
Did anyone from Monarch ever threaten you prior to 1986?
No.
Is Monarch in any way involved in any aspect of the claims that Paul Benassi has brought against the defendants in this lawsuit?
No.
You don't believe that Monarch is in any way involved in any kind of conspiratorial activity that involves child abuse or any of your other allegations?
I know that they involve with child abuse because they have a lot of schools where they train girls to be prostitutes and boys, as myself in the early days. They used us to, how shall I say, get what they wanted. Let's
What
say
did they want?
they had a politician who liked girls, or boys, men, women. They would get them into a position where they would have that, a boy or a girl or whatever it was, with them. They would videotape it and use it later for blackmail.
And you recognize and know the members of Monarch individuals who might have been involved in the Omaha area?
I only have a few
Who are those people?
persons. Bill Clemens.
How do you spell his name?
Plemons. Works off of Offutt.
Is he employed by the United States?
I believe so.
Bill Clemens is one of the individuals involved in training children.
He is a controller, yes.
Who else?
Locally, I don't know any more names that I can.
What about other than locally?
I said Colonel Aquino.
Anyone else?
There are others, but I would have to.
Do you need to call upon another personality to remember the others?
No. There are many.
There are many. That's why, and I'd like to know who those individuals are.
Gary Ackerman.
And where does Mr. Ackerman live?
He is a congressman. I'm not aware of where he's from.
You don't know which jurisdiction.
No.
And you're saying that he is a controller and part of this.
He is not a controller. He is a lead of the conspiracy.
He's in charge of the conspiracy.
He's one of the leads in the conspiracy. I am not able at this time to access much more information because of programs that were purposely put into me to. I cannot place faces because they have programs that disallow that. They are simply erased, and they have also used means to insert other names.
Who programmed
that were
you?
not involved. I was programmed by Monarch.
Who?
That includes psychiatrists from Offutt Air Force Base.
Who is that?
I do not know. They never allowed us to know names except for our direct controller, which was Bill Clemens. I only knew of Colonel Aquino because I was also involved in the Temple of Set.
When were you programmed?
I was programmed beginning in 1974.
Were you trained in the area of prostitution and homosexuality?
Yes,
And where did that training take place?
Offutt Air Force Base.
And did that also occur in 1974?
Yes,
And how long a period of time did that training last?
roughly 1974 until 1980.
So during those years, you received periodic training about homosexuality and about prostitution.
Yes.
Anything else that you've received training on?
Yes.
What?
How to photograph documents in my mind to be able to relate that information to deprogrammers at a later date.
Have you personally engaged in any spying?
Nothing that would be considered spying except for in training. I have not spied for them because my training was not complete. I was still learning.
Are they expecting that at some future time that you will engage in some form of spying or espionage?
Not anymore.
Why?
Because the program was discontinued when the program started to break down in 1986. My initial program was to, as a young man, get adults who were powerful political leaders into positions where they could be compromised.
That was your mission?
That was the initial mission. The whole mission was for me to go into the military service and become an officer and a few years after that, retire from the service. Not retire after 20 years, but after 6 years. And move to Germany. And then their initial plan to take over or to run the government was to put me in an ambassador spot. And then later to come back to the United States and to run for an office, and they would be the ones who controlled everything that I did.
So you would be an operative, so to speak?
I would be a puppet.
A puppet. And you say this plan broke down in 1986, but yet you told me that you still felt that you were under the control.
I am still under their control because I do not answer phones anymore because that's how they get the others to the triggers, is what I'll call them. They're not personalities. They contain no memories at all. They were put in as hypnotic suggestions and only come out when, as I said, a code is presented to them. And that happened several times in 1989, which is why Paul and Mikey's memories are so confused. At that time, they were attempting to destroy me because they were attempting to access suicidal personalities and other personalities that would get me in trouble with law enforcement.
And the code that Mr. DeCamp was able to use is a code that needs to be put in place before Wesley could reveal what you are revealing now. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, let me understand and make sure that I'm clear about what you were targeted to do for Operation, I forgot the name of
Monarch.
it. Monarch. You were initially trained in the art of homosexuality, prostitution, and espionage.
Yes.
And you have received that training from the period of 1970 up and through 1986.
Yes.
Is that correct? The second aspect of the plan that was in place for you was to put you in a position where you would have access to people of importance or of political power so that they could be compromised by engaging in homosexual or pedophilic activities with you.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Then the third aspect of that was that you were to join the military, where you would have a short career that would lead to a relatively early retirement.
Yes.
And after your retirement, you were to be sent to Europe in an ambassadorship.
I was to go to Germany and to receive training and education, and later I would become an ambassador for a period of a few years and then return to the United States to become a local.
You would become an elected
puppet.
official,
Yes.
responsive to Monarch.
Yes.
Now, as I understand it, you accomplished the first element of that. You went through the training that they provided.
Yes.
And you went through the second phase of that, which was to find people of political or financial means in the community and put them in compromising positions.
They found people I didn't.
Oh, okay,
They
so
set up the engagements and the encounters with the person. I simply was told to, when they programmed the personalities, or the triggers, as I called them, they would call me up and they would use a code. I would simply switch into that trigger, go to where they told me to go, whether it would be or get on an airplane, because they would already have the tickets there. They would have the tickets there under a name that only that trigger would know, and go to wherever it was. There would be somebody waiting for them in that city and take them to wherever it was that they were supposed to go, bring them back to the airport, put them on the plane. They would come back home, and as soon as they walked in the door, the memory of everything that had just happened would be erased.
Gone.
Completely.
Okay, now, did Monarch pay for any or all of the travel that you've described during portions of your earlier testimony in this deposition, when you said you had made a couple hundred trips to the coasts?
Mikey did it.
I'm sorry, where Mikey testified that there had been lots of travel over the years between 80 and 86. Is the question too long?
No, I understand.
Okay.
Some of them, yes.
So some of your travel was sponsored by Monarch.
Yes.
You said that Monarch targeted the individuals that you were to pursue and to compromise.
Yes.
Again, is that Mr. Clemens?
Mr. Plemons or one